Morning, everyone. This is Stephanie Cates. I am with Merchant Processing Solutions, but here on these podcasts, I am the moderator for the Chamber University podcasts. This month in April, we are calling it April Advertising, and therefore we have tapped the shoulder of several of our marketing advertising people within the Chamber, and we have asked Maud Roll from Smart Web Plans to please come on the call today. Hermod, thank you so much for being with us.
No problem. Thanks for the invite.
My pleasure. So you do, I'm just going to go ahead and take my video off. Okay, so you do websites. You are basically your mode of advertising is through websites, correct?
Yes, what we do as an agency is we handle the full wheelhouse of marketing your business online, which primarily does start at the website. Most businesses, that's the big chunk when you start is I need to put up a website so people can see me. But we also handle everything that's associated with moving that website forward, like the social media, the Google My Business profiles, the Facebook and Google advertising, and search engine ranking. So we handle the full wheelhouse, but we really focus on getting you set up first.
Okay, so I think, now tell me if I'm wrong, but I believe that a website is so important today. If you're a business, you really need a website. I mean, you've got to have a website there, because otherwise I'll go look for somebody, a name of a business, and if they don't have a website, I'm very leery to do business with them. Do you find that to be the case?
Yes. Like it's 2022. The website is very important, and it's not just one aspect. There's so many. There's trust. There's usability for not only but the users, but the companies themselves. Sometimes a business will say, I'm even to the businesses that say, hey, man, I'm making a ton of money. My website has never really been a big thing. I say, hey, but how hard is it to run the business? Is there anything that you're doing that's hard in the business? That website probably can help you. I've seen business owners save, hours and hours and hours in things that they've done for 10 years by just putting up a simple video on their website, and it saves them hours, just answering questions. So it comes to play in so many different levels of growing and scaling your business. I would say it's uber important. It's a must have.
With that being said, I have an issue with, I go to a website because I want to find out more about the company, or I heard about them and I don't have a business card, and I go out and Google, but then I want to click on it. And in order to contact them, you have to fill out a form. So I'm giving them all my information. I don't know where their office is. They could be in Timbuktu for all I know. There's no phone number to call. What is your opinion about what kind of information should a good website contain? Now, I know that it should contain lots of material, but just the basics. What does a basic website have to have?
Okay, so let's start. You kind of got to start a little bit at the top with that question. And really, you're going to ask, what is a website's purpose, really? And its function. Some people will put up a website, and I tell people all the time, hey, you have business cards. This is not your business card. The website is not for, people to just look at. And that's what the situation you're talking, that's kind of what has happened there. Someone has just placed up a website. They haven't really created any functionality in the website. It's just there for you to, hey, this is the business website. Contact me if you want to contact me. No, that's a kind of a no-no. You want to create some type of functionality on the website so you can get people to a desired reaction. So here's where you start. I'm going to give you a base, like an overview of everything that you would really need to kind of market your business online and what you really want to achieve with the website. So there's a phrase in marketing online, content is king. This is the truth. You, me, everybody that's using the internet is consuming content, but we're doing it for a specific reason. We're doing it to get us to the next point. Whatever we're looking for, whatever we want, we're looking to get to the next point. So we're consuming content to get to that next point. So first thing is you want to set up a website with really good content. The next thing you want to do to that website is you want to drive traffic to it. People want the content. Once you provided them with something of value, it works. Now you need to push more people into it. The reason you're going to push more people into it is because if you set up this last step, you will get what you want, and that is a desired reaction. So the last step you do is you add a precise funnel to that traffic. So think about what you have here now. You have a website with great content, you have traffic going to that website, and then you have a precise funnel that leads that person to a desired reaction. That is really what your website should do and be in its totality. The biggest issue is most people miss one of those marks, and unfortunately it usually leads to an undesired reaction or a bad conversion.
It's funny. People will build their own websites and then they'll go and they'll design a business card someplace differently. And I'm like, a business card today is only if I'm face to face, and you know what? That business card is either taken or not taken, or put in a circular file or on your desk for further interaction, because of that face value we had when we exchanged it. Your website has to be speaking for you and for your business, and spend more time on a business card than they will on a website. And it just blows my mind to look at some of these, and we're talking pretty decent companies out there, and their website is minimal. Now, let me ask you, how often should a website be updated or changed or whatever,
Okay, so the average lifespan of a website, and it kind of shocks a lot of people, it's actually 2 years. Most businesses either change the website, update the website, or scrap the thing altogether every 2 years. And it's funny because usually the case is it's not because where it was built. It's usually they're just not getting the correct results out of it. So to make that short, I mean, you're probably going to build your website every 2 years if it doesn't function properly. If you build a website and it doesn't do what you intended for it to do, if it's not driving your customers to where you want them to go, you'll probably redesign that site every 2 years.
Is it prudent to have a website? I'm just asking because I know you do the other gamut of the website is basically from which all other marketing gets sent out into the cyber world, so you're always referring back to your website, if I'm correct in that. For people, it's kind of like the anchor that's holding the boat together, and all other SEO and all that kind of sends it back. So should people put promotions on there? Should they talk about, should it be current or should it be stoic? Should it be, this is what we do and this is, you mentioned off camera that videos explaining some of the simplest questions that you get as a business is perfect to keep driving business back to your website. I thought that was fascinating. I wrote it down here because how many people don't do that? I get a call all the time. Hey, my paper isn't working. If I can only show them how to take the credit card paper, they put it in the wrong way. And that's why it's not printing, because the thermal side is not where it's supposed to. It's a great idea. And, I think we'll have to talk about what we can do to get some videos online.
Exactly. And the thing is, a lot of times it seems so complicated to do these things, but it's really not. And it's so underplayed on how powerful that is. Now let's just step this up just a little bit just from where we're talking in terms of this video, right? And I'm just going to give you an example of how powerful this can be and what larger companies do. So just like you said, you can use this video to kind of explain a troubleshooting error that you usually fix, right? Well, if you look at a large company, go find your favorite company, go on YouTube, click on their channel, and you'll find they're constantly posting how to use their platforms, how to troubleshoot their platforms. And then they attach those same videos that are on their YouTube channel right back to the website. So not only do you have a website that's functioning, it's doing, great for the end user, it's saving you time, but then on the back, you're going to connect to Google's most powerful video platform, which is YouTube. So that gives you a lot of power in terms of, who you are, what you do, and who you come across. So it's just that simple. And in terms of your website, just kind of think of it as your real estate. Google's good, YouTube's good, Facebook's good, Instagram, Twitter, all of those platforms are amazing. They have tons of traffic, and you will always be able to use them as a source to find the people that are looking for you. But you don't own them at the end of the day. You do not own how people interact with those platforms. The only place you will ever really control that interaction is on your website. So in that third step where I mentioned to you, you need a precise funnel that leads people down a path to a desired reaction. That's what is going to really power your website. So you put up your base website. Usually I tell people you want to start with the basics, a clean look, who you are, what you do, provide some benefits to them, a little bit of testimonials, to get people to understand, who you are. You want to build trust with them. You want to put your services so they clearly understand what you do. You want to put contacts. What in the back of that website, and this was what I'm saying, they're not on the home page. This is not going to be at the top in the menu. In the back of that website, whoever's working on your marketing should be building out pages that lead to a desired result. So, for example, you have merchant processing. If you do, one-on-one consultations with business owners to help them really find a solution, then on the back end of your website, you should have a web page that funnels them down to meeting with you. Maybe you have one page that says, hey, are you having these problems? Are you having these problems? Then maybe we should talk. The next page is a calendar to book, with you. The page after that says thank you. That's it. Those type of follow-ups will get people to the desired result. And that's what you're really looking for in your website. You don't want to just put it up there and have it stagnant for people to leave, because what will happen is we have a number in the back. We call it a bounce rate. What a bounce rate refers to is when someone comes to your website and they just leave. That's a real number. Most websites have like 40 and 50% bounce rates. The only way to bring that down is the good content and, the funnel. So that's where you want the website.
Okay, so when I build a website or a company builds a website, so I have been told that a website kind of moves up higher within Google if it has video content, if it has new pictures, if you update things. Is that true? I mean,
Yes.
you become higher. And so optimally, how often should you be doing something in order to keep yourself in that first page of Google that pops up?
Well, you should be doing something every day, every week. I mean, ideally in marketing, what I see generally tends to happen to the smaller and the medium business is when they put on the hats themselves, because marketing is something you want to be ahead of. When we do social media, we build out the calendar a month ahead of time. We're not posting, we're not taking a picture of the business the day of and posting that. That's almost impossible to keep up with. So in the background of this website, you want to have different channels or different ways that you're kind of campaigning and putting your message out there. Now, in terms of moving up in the Google ranking, once you have your website up, when you're producing content, like when you're making videos, or if you write a blog, or even this podcast, those you should always really be linking those back to pages inside of your website. So that's why you see most businesses will have some type of resource section or a blog where they're providing articles, because yes, that's a way to funnel the content that I'm producing back to the website without necessarily building it out on the website. Like every day, I don't want to come and just keep popping videos at the bottom of my website, but I might on YouTube, which is a video platform, make a video, and then once that video is on YouTube and I'm working on my website, I can say, hey, if you're having this problem, here's a link. And then you can go to this channel, you can go to my YouTube channel and watch it. And you'll see that creates a relationship where you're going back and forth between the platform and your website.
That's kind of what I think a lot of people strive to do. I think that a blog, I like the blog idea. And I actually have a family blog that I do. It's called My Life's Traditions and Recipes. And I grabbed all the old recipes from grandma and grandpa and then pictures of them and put them out. And all my nieces, because I used to be the one they'd all call for that recipe. And so I think that blogs and YouTube channels are great. But if you don't know how to get to them because you haven't linked them to your website, and you don't make everything, like I said, the anchor is your website, and then everything revert back to that. When you talked about Facebook or Instagram, when you have those types of accounts out there, do you actually put the website www.mywebsite.com there on the Pinterest with whatever you're doing, Instagram, Twitter, whatever? Do you actually put that there so that they can refer back to that, or is there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So a big part of your online presence is something we call listings, which is basically your information in different directories. So just like we use, Google, that's a search engine. There are a ton of other companies that store profiles and business information. So like us on average, I think we try to maintain about 300 connections. And this is everything: Yelp, Google, MSN, Yahoo, all of these companies have profiles. So your information is out there. Typically what you want to do, Google wants, as long as all of that information matches up precisely across the internet, Google generally gives you a bit of a boost for that. So, just maintaining and having your link is fairly good. So yeah, it's perfectly okay to post your website link inside of your Instagram, or maybe at the top of your Twitter profile. A lot of people will text. I've seen on the YouTube channel, they won't allow you to directly link there, but you can actually just write it out. Some people, if you made a really good video, they're interested. They'll go and find you. So, it's worth putting the contact out there.
So your website, your smart web plans, let me ask you, across the board, what kind of people do website? I mean, are there the people that just build a website and say, lots of luck, goodbye, have, be gone, we'll see you there. And then there's the other people that help. What is the spectrum, and what does your company kind of do, and how is that normal or not normal? With what makes you different from those other companies? I guess that's what I want to ask. I'm sorry.
Okay, so I'll tell you, for the better part of the business, we've been a typical agency, in a sense where there's 3 ways to kind of go about digital marketing. If you're a business, so if you're in small to medium sections of the business, the first way will be, kind of to bootstrap it, learn the platforms, learn what you really want out of them. You can go out and pay for the softwares or pay for programs that will get you the same results like Hootsuite. If a lot of realtors, they will just go and buy Hootsuite, and that's how they manage their social media. The next step up from this is, and this is usually for someone who's a little bit more busy, maybe you take a lot of sales calls, you've got a lot of appointments booked. Usually you opt to hire an agency, and that's where we've pretty much worked at. And what the agencies usually have are account managers and specialists. And what that allows the business to do is shoot off all of the heavy core marketing tasks to this account manager, who then can distribute it through his team and make sure it's fulfilled. And then the third option to fulfilling your marketing at that point would be to have kind of that in-house team. So you'll either have someone hired into the company that will operate your software for you, will make all your changes, or you will kind of work with a freelancer. That's another thing you'll find common is a lot of businesses or smaller startups will find a freelancer that specialized in something. So, hey, I build websites. That's my thing. You link up with that person and they build your website. Now,
I have to tell you that I would say in the last 6 months, as I've been networking and getting back into the field, I'll ask about, oh, I see you have a website. I'll check things out. And yeah, well, it's almost ready. My son's been working on it for a while now. And you're like, my brother-in-law, my son, my wife, my daughter, my mother-in-law, you're sitting there going, I mean, this is like, without a good website, your company, I mean, you just can't it's not a business card. It's got to be something that wows people to want to like take that extra step forward with you.
So here's the problem. And that's that, I'm glad I'm here to speak about this today with you, because there actually has been a problem for quite some time between, the average business and agencies in terms of getting your marketing done. Because just like you said, okay, you hire the freelancer and it takes forever to get the results. And, you never know if this person's going to leave. If they leave, I've seen a ton of people have a website built by someone, the relationship goes sour and they are just completely locked out of the website. I can't tell you how many times I've had to rebuild a business website, and it kind of breaks your heart a little bit, because they ask, well, can you save this part of the website? And I can't, because the person who built the site is gone. They've taken it. They're just like, it's over. So there's always been this gap between the business and getting all of this started. Because honestly, if you're working with an agency, you need to be at a point where you're kind of self-sufficient, or you have the money to pay them, because there's usually a lot of people, in the background of that, and it can get pricey for a smaller business that's trying to get there, or a business that's just kind of trying to scale. So I've actually been faced with this problem for, I would say, the better of like 8 months now. Being that I've been in a group working with some smaller businesses that are really, they know that the market is important, they want to get it done, but the budget's just not there. And me, on the outside of that, I'm an agency owner. I always preach, the online presence. So I still think it's important for them to have. So where we're making the adjustment, and where it's been a great benefit to a lot of businesses, is we've added software. So in technology world, a lot of times you will see a big shift when it just becomes easier to do a task. At one point, some people had websites, most people didn't, and that was because you used to have to code. Everyone had to know how to code. Then they came out with things like WordPress and what was it, Shopify. So these platforms made it easier to build websites, and then boom, you have an industry explosion. Tons of people have that. So now it's become easier to build out software for, at least if you're in the marketing space. So what we're opting to do is build out softwares that are cheaper, but they still pack the same punch that you would need to, really get your business developed on a marketing level. Because just like I told you before, you actually need to have those three things in place. If you don't have, the content, the traffic, and the funnel, I promise any business owner, your marketing efforts, your marketing dollars will disappear. Those three things absolutely need to be in place for you to actually make a return on any investment in marketing. Anything outside of that, you will start to see your money slip through the cracks. If you put the website up and you don't pay for traffic, no one goes to the website. If you put the if you have traffic but the website is bad, then they leave the website. If you have content and traffic but you don't put a funnel, people will come, they will sit on your website, but they will never convert into customers. So you need that standard first. And here I'll put out an argument that I as an agency owner, I've had to deal with a lot of businesses. Most businesses will say they need more leads. Most businesses will say they need better leads to really grow and scale their business. And working in this digital marketing space, what we've actually found is there's a gap. So me as a digital marketer, I will go out and fish a business owner leads. I will go out, I can use the platforms to target the exact person that's interested in what you offer. But what happens after that? Now my results become dependent on you closing that lead. So there's always been a gap in results between the businesses that actually provide the leads and the businesses that need to close the leads and scale from that. So this software is actually bridging that gap in a bit, where now when I'm working with the business, I'm not afraid of them, missing foundational pieces that's going to later on affect my marketing results. I know now, hey, at least if you've used this software that I've made, you have a website. I know that you have text messaging going back and forth. I know that you're sending out emails. I know that you have a calendar. I know that you have a sales pipeline. I know that you have a funnel. I know that you're asking for reviews. So now that I know for a fact that all of those things are in place for your business, anything that I do in marketing, it's almost gold because we have those pieces. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, it makes sense. I'm sorry, I try to mute it in case I sneeze while you're talking. No, it absolutely makes sense. And it really is great to see this. So we are winding down our call. Hermod, excuse me. I'm still pronouncing your name, trying to get it right.
Yeah.
What I would love to ask you is, please tell our viewers how they can reach you. And I wanted to know, do you have any free consultation, or how do you follow through when someone calls you and is interested? I will look at your website and it says, are you schedule a discovery session? I love that. That sounds terrific. Could you explain what that would be and how they can reach you?
So basically, yeah, we've set a general contact form and a pipeline where you can go on there. If you want to schedule a strategy session, we'll sit there. You put in a little bit of information about the business. On the back end, we kind of do a little research. And then we actually sit there from, anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour and kind of get to know the business. Where are you at currently in the business? Where are you going? And then we put our heads together that for a second as business owners and see if there's any opportunities for me to move you forward.
Very good. So why don't you give us, again, the name of the company, a phone number, and the website, and we will be finishing up our call.
So if you want to book a strategy call or you want to get in contact with us, you simply want to go to your browser and just put in smartwebplans.com. But you can also find us on Facebook or Instagram. You can also just Google us. We have a nice Google profile set up. The call button's right there. You just press call, or you can select the number, and an appointment link is also in there. So, just like we tell, we try to get the clients on a multi-touch, multi-channel approach. We're all out there. Website, Instagram, Facebook. Just put in smartwebplans.com.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for giving that information. Again, websites have been around for a while, but they've been evolving, and they've been evolving so that it now encompasses, like you said, an end product of closing sales, not just, being a bookmark out there on the World Wide Web. So thank you so much for giving me this time, and our listeners and viewers will very much appreciate all your advice. And with that, I am
no problem. Thanks for the invite.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. And have you all a great day.